Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today we're going to be, like I've been advertising many times, or at least I have been, Future Graham, you better be advertising this. It is official. This Friday, I'm going to be going to K-State University on a college visit, but also this Friday, the college football playoffs start. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to go through this bracket the entire way up and down and left and right. And we're going to predict the 2025-2026 college football season national champion. And there's a lot of good matchups ahead of us. We're just going to look at all of these games single-handedly, look at all the teams, and then we're going to go for it. So, to be precise, to start, I'm going to look at all the teams. First, we're going to look at the teams that got byes, and then we'll move on from there. So the number 1 seed is Indiana. They knocked off the number 2 seed, Ohio State, and they're looking pretty good. Their quarterback just won the Heisman. Don't ask me how to say his name because I don't know. With that being said, Indiana will be either playing Alabama or Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. Pretty significant there. Number 2 seed Ohio State, their only loss of the season, is to none other than number 1 in the country, Indiana. I can't believe I'm saying that because Indiana wasn't very good for a while. Ohio State, powerhouse football team. They're really good. They're going to make a big run, and they're going to be playing either Miami or Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl in the second round, in the quarterfinals. Next, we get number 3, Georgia Bulldogs. Now, the Georgia Bulldogs will be playing in the All-State Sugar Bowl against either Tulane or Ole Miss. Now, the Georgia Bulldogs played significantly well. They won the SEC against Alabama. I still don't know how Alabama made the SEC championship game, but that's beside the point. The real point is the fact that Georgia is here and they're good. Their defense is good. Their offense is good. Their quarterback play is good. Georgia is a good, solid, number 3 ranked team in the nation, and they're going to be great this year. In the playoffs, obviously. Texas Tech, number 4, the Red Raiders, will be either playing James Madison or Oregon in the Orange Bowl. Now, Texas Tech, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the CFP. Now, this team destroyed my Wildcats, so I will have to say Texas Tech is good. Jacob Rodriguez should have won the Heisman. I 100% fully believe that Jacob Rodriguez should have won that Heisman Trophy because he's been doing things so crazy this season, especially at linebacker. I mean, he has so many forced fumbles, tackles. He was just a great linebacker. Jacob Rodriguez, love that guy. Hopefully we can, if the Chiefs were to draft him, he's probably going to go in the first top. He's going top 10 if he goes. He's a great running back. I could talk about him forever. Now, number 5, Oregon. The Oregon Ducks have had a bit of an up and down season. I could say that. They're 11-1. Their one loss in the Big Ten. By the way, they came in 3rd in the Big Ten, so that's why they're ranked number 5. Their one loss this season was to Indiana, so they're really good, but they lost to Indiana by 10. So be looking for Oregon to make a good run in this playoff, especially because they had several dominant wins this season. Oregon is pretty dang good. Next, we're going to go on to number 6, Ole Miss, who is going to be taking on, I didn't mean to pick Ole Miss, oh my bad, who's going to be taking on the Tulane Green Wave in the first round of the playoffs. Now, Ole Miss is also 11-1 in the SEC. They're actually technically first in the SEC. They didn't make the SEC championship over Alabama, which is kind of weird. I don't know why, but their one loss is to Georgia, so I'm assuming that's why they didn't make it into the SEC championship game. They lost to Georgia by not very much, but they beat literally everyone else dominantly. Now, do they have their head coach in Lane Kiffin? No, they do not. But I fully believe in Ole Miss's potential to go on a pretty decent run here in the playoff. They will have to play Georgia again, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Number 7 seed, Texas A&M, the Aggies. I love Texas A&M. Texas A&M and Texas Tech are my 2 favorite teams in this playoff push. Sadly, Their one loss this season, I'm talking about Texas A&M, not Texas Tech, they were also tied for first in the SEC. I don't know how they didn't make it to the SEC championship. Well, maybe it's because they lost to Texas. One loss of the season at the very end was their loss to Texas. 27-17, their team did not look that great in that game. Their offense left much to be desired on the table. They had some great wins this season, especially like a 1-point win over Notre Dame. They destroyed 20-ranked LSU at the time. They beat Mizzou. I hate Mizzou. They barely beat South Carolina. They came back. It was like the biggest comeback in school history. So Texas A&M, great team. I hope to see their offense rolling, especially because their new offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, is our new head coach at K-State. I'm so excited to be able to see what Texas A&M can do in the playoff. Next, the 8th seed Oklahoma Sooners are 10-2. They're 10-2. They're a really good football team this year. I will say, Oklahoma, the Sooners, I've, not really liked the Sooners in years past because they always seem to know how to lose big games, or they know how to win big games, but they always lose games they shouldn't lose. So they will be playing the Crimson Tide in the first round of the playoffs. And while we're here, we might as well also talk about Alabama. I don't know how they got into the position that they're in because they were basically just handed everything. But the Sooners, really good team. If they have their quarterback, they have all the pieces, they're going to make a pretty decent run as well. The Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's go ahead and talk about Alabama because I think they're the biggest frauds in the college football playoff. It's not even close. Florida State, they lost to Florida State at the beginning of the season. That should have been the writing on the wall. Hey, Alabama's not going to be good this year. Then they went out and beat UNL Monroe. Who cares? They went and beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin sucks. Then they beat Georgia, and then they beat Vandy, who Vandy was really good at the beginning of the year. It's a shocker that they weren't in the playoffs because Vanderbilt was good. It's also a crime, in my opinion, that you get a 3-loss Alabama team in the playoff and not some of these other schools like Notre Dame or the other schools that should have been in there. Alabama didn't even win the SEC, and they don't even have the best record in the SEC. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yes, they only had one conference loss. I get that. But so did Texas A&M, and so did Ole Miss, and so did Georgia. All those teams had one conference loss. But Alabama gets into the SEC championship with 3 losses. Their 3 losses being Florida State, Oklahoma, and Georgia. Now, granted, Oklahoma and Georgia are both really good football teams. But they lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game. They were a 2-loss team, and they made it to the championship game over 11-1 Ole Miss and 11-1 Texas A&M. I don't understand. Neither of those teams even played Alabama this season. Neither of them played Alabama. They both played Georgia, and Georgia beat them both. So why wouldn't either one of those teams, go and play Georgia in the SEC championship game? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. They barely beat Auburn at the end of the year. They're going to get first rounded by Oklahoma. I can already tell you that right now. Now, the 10th seed, Miami, coming out of the ACC, even though Duke won the ACC, Miami has been pretty decent this year. They've had their ups and down moments as well. I think they're a 10-2 team, but they're the best product out of the ACC as far as record and everything else goes, other than Virginia. But Virginia needed to win the ACC championship to get into the playoff, and what they do, they choked and lost in overtime to Duke. So there you have it. The 11th seed is going to be Tulane. Now, Tulane, I mean, you can say what you want about Tulane. They're 11-2. It's an impressive record. They virtually have no chance at beating Ole Miss in this game. It would be kind of cool if they did. Their losses are to Ole Miss, who they lost 45-10 to at Ole Miss in nearly the beginning of the season, week 4. And when is this? It's at Ole Miss again. They're going to lose. It's going to happen. There are also other losses to UTSA. I mean, okay, yeah, this is pretty bad. I mean, they beat North Texas at the end of the year, and they beat Charlotte, and they beat Temple, and they beat FAU. Are you seeing a common theme here? Tulane didn't play anybody, and the 2 teams that they did play this year that were actually decent, they lost to. So if Tulane somehow makes a run, that's beyond me. But they're a good 11 seed. And then we got James Madison. So James Madison is a team that, yes, they only have one loss. Okay, James Madison Dukes. They're playing the Oregon Ducks, who are really, really good. Okay, their losses are to Louisville. They lost to Louisville by 2 touchdowns. Everyone else they played, the only other power conference or old power conference team they played was Washington State, and Washington State is part of the Pac-2, and they're not a power conference anymore because there's only 2 teams in that conference. But yeah, they're gonna play Oregon first round of the playoffs. So let's go ahead and get started. I gave you all a rundown. Whoever wins that game, by the way, between James Madison and Oregon, is going to be in the Orange Bowl. So let's get from the most obvious games to the least obvious games picked in round 1, and we're gonna move on from there. So James Madison and Oregon. I'm going to have Oregon beating the Madison Dukes. The reason is quite obvious. James Madison hasn't played hardly anybody this season, and they dominated all those games, and in the one team they did play, they lost to by 2 touchdowns, and it was just a half-decent ACC team. I mean, like 7 win or 9 win or something like that, Louisville. So, Oregon gonna beat James Madison and play Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. Next, we're gonna go down Ole Miss and Tulane. I accidentally already clicked it, but yes, I will have Ole Miss beating Tulane in this game. They're at home, and if Tulane somehow beats them, congratulations. I can see it because Lane Kiffin is gone, and maybe that has a factor. Up next, Miami, Texas A&M. This is gonna come down to who can execute on offense better. Miami's offense is good, but so is Texas A&M's. I have faith in Colin Klein. I'm going to pick Texas A&M to win this game and go on to play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, and that's going to be a good game. And last but not least, in the first round of the playoffs, which this is actually the first game that gets played, I believe. It's on Friday night. It is indeed Oklahoma hosting Alabama. Crimson Tide, you best bet I'm picking Oklahoma. Oklahoma already beat Alabama this season, and so Oklahoma, you're going to advance to the quarterfinals. Congratulations. All right, quarterfinals time. Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oklahoma, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Georgia, and Texas A&M, Ohio State. So let's start with this game up here. I think Texas Tech, Oregon is going to be a great game. Going to be a good game. It'll be at the Orange Bowl, neutral site. I think Jacob Rodriguez and that Texas Tech defense dominates that Oregon offense, and it will take a lot, but I think Texas Tech will win by 3. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Up next, you have the Sooners and Indiana. Now, Indiana in the Rose Bowl. This will be a good game. I mean, Oklahoma is a powerhouse team. But after I see what the Indiana defense did to Ohio State, give me Indiana, man. I got to take Indiana. Up next, Ole Miss, Georgia. Ole Miss or Georgia. Now, if we look, I believe I have it still pulled up somewhere. Ole Miss, let me just go pull it up right now. Ole Miss and Georgia, okay? The Georgia Bulldogs, their one loss this season, I said it earlier, their one loss this season was to Alabama, okay? They played Ole Miss and beat them by a touchdown. They were at home against Ole Miss and won by a touchdown. I think Ole Miss gets revenge on the Georgia Bulldogs in the Sugar Bowl to advance to the Verbo Bowl in the semifinals. And that's my most tossed-up pick, in my opinion, in the quarterfinal. Now, Texas A&M, Ohio State. Who do I want to win this game? I would love Ohio State to lose this game because That's how they'd have to lose this game, is if Ohio State loses. It's not about Texas A&M winning. It's about Ohio State losing. But Ohio State, I'm going to have you win. And you're going to be playing the quarterfinal matchup, or the semifinal matchup, rather, against Ole Miss. And then you're going to have Texas Tech in Indiana. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Now, obviously, most people are going Indiana, Ohio State in the Natty, which would make sense because they're the 1 and 2 seed and they're on opposite sides of the bracket. I am going to pick a team that I think will be able to beat Indiana just based off of how Indiana plays their offense and defense, and that is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now, I am a little biased because I'm from the Big 12, but Texas Tech's defense is legit. That offense is good enough when they get rolling. Indiana will be favored in this game, no doubt, but I will pick Texas Tech in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and they're going to go on to the Natty Chip. Now, Ole Miss, Ohio State. This game, ooh, buddy, this game will be crazy. Ole Miss, Ohio State, I mean, it would be a great game. But I would be lying if I said Ohio State doesn't win this game. Ohio State will be going back to the national championship game simply because I think Ole Miss has what it takes to beat Georgia. I don't know if they have what it takes to beat Ohio State. Now, this is where a big conversation comes in. Is Ole Miss better than Texas Tech? I guess we'll never know. Because if Ole Miss is better than Texas Tech, then technically I should have Ole Miss beating Ohio State because Texas Tech beat Indiana. But my Natty Chip is going to be Texas Tech, Ohio State. I really like both teams. Really, really do. My bias pick is Texas Tech to win it all. Do I think they're going to win it all? No. I think Ohio State is going to go back-to-back champions. Total points, give me about 63 points in the national championship. I think Ohio State runs it back and wins it again. I know that's a really bland answer, bland and, just overall not an answer everyone's looking for. I really want Texas Tech to win this game. I really do. And I want them to win so much so I'm actually going to flip my pick. Yeah, it's Texas Tech. Red Raiders, baby. They're going to win it all over to Ohio State just because I'm purely biased. And, that is my bracket. If y'all want to know more, be free to check out on the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload next. And I will see you later. Peace, brother.